Welcome, this is the complete guide on how to blend oil pastels. In this video, I won't be showing you just one, not even two or three, but 8 different ways on how to blend oil pastels with tips. So let's get started. So number 1 is pastel on pastel. You're basically going to take your pastels and you're going to use circular motions with a lot of pressure. You're going to apply each color just above where the last color ended. And you have to apply a lot of pressure to make sure that color really blends into the next color until you're satisfied with the gradient. I'm using the Van Gogh set, which tends to leave a little bit of binder, so I recommend using a big fluffy brush to sweep away any leftover binder that this does cause. Because you're applying with such pressure, it does tend to leave a little bit of the binder or wax behind. Now, if you're using a more expensive brand like Sennelier that has more oil than binder, this probably won't happen. The second method is simply using your fingers. I personally like this method because I don't mind getting messy when I'm into my artwork. The natural oils in your fingers will blend your oil pastels, but it does take a lot of work and your fingers might feel sore after a while. This is where it leads to my third blending method, our blending stumps. Blending stumps come in all various sizes, from big to small. I like using blending stumps because you could apply a lot of pressure and your fingers won't hurt. Big stumps cover large areas and the really tiny stumps cover those really small areas and are great for details. Because they are made of paper, they do absorb a lot of the color. To keep them clean, you just sand them off on a piece of sandpaper by turning the blending stump around and around until you're satisfied. Now, if you're not satisfied with that method, you can always use oils. I personally like to use oils bought from the art store, and I like to use linseed oil as it's non-toxic. Now, I know that you can use other oils such as Gamsol, but I rather stick to non-toxic oils and could try baby oil, but then again, if you want to sell your work, I would be very cautious about the archival quality of that. Now you only need a little bit of oil for this blending effect. What I like about this oil is it's super easy to clean off your brush. You just dab a little bit of oil inside of it and with a little tissue, you wipe it off and it's good as new. The fifth blending method is simply by using a tissue, a cloth, or cotton swabs. So you apply the color and instead of using your plain fingers, you just use a tissue, which could be okay, but the tissue does tend to rip apart. Q-tips are okay, they're very cheap, but again, they do tend to bend quite easily. You need a lot on hand. They are convenient where you can throw away, but at the same time, for blending pastels, I do prefer using blending stumps. If you really want to get artsy with your oil pastels, you can always try stippling or scumbling. So let's start with the first one. Just by using dots, you apply dots one on top of the other until you achieve the gradient effect that you're looking for. Though time consuming, the results are quite beautiful. Scumbling is a similar technique, but instead of using dots, you would use curvy lines and squiggly lines. Check out my oil pastel portrait where I try out the stippling effect, and I'll link that in the description. Now, the 7th blending method would be color shapers. Now, this is probably something that you've never heard of. I sure haven't until a couple of years ago. Color shapers come in different shapes. I have a square one and a pointy one, and they're great for blending even dry pastels. For my Van Gogh set, I guess they have a little bit too much binder, so they didn't blend as well as I thought they would. I think I would prefer the stump for blending the Van Gogh pastels, but these type of color shapers would probably work great with the Sennelier. They're great for details and easy to clean. Alright, are you guys ready for the last but not least? Stick around because I will be showing you my absolute favorite way to blend oil pastels. Number 8, using a white or a colorless pastel to blend. So basically you would apply all your pastels and I would simply take a white pastel and go over all my colors, and this would create a nice, more pastel effect. A little quick tip here, especially with my white pastel, I like to clean it off with a tissue every time I use it. That way it is ready to go. Now, if you don't like that effect, you can use a colorless pastel and go over all your colors with that up and down, and that will blend your oil pastels without losing the vibrancy of your colors. So these are all the how to blend oil pastels that I know of. If I have left any out, please let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. Can you guess which one was mine? Yes, you guessed it, the last one, because I love soft pastel colors, but I also like number one. Let me know which blending oil pastel technique that you'll be trying, which one was your favorite, and if you enjoyed this video and found value in it, please give me a like. Check out my other video where I paint this little cutie. If you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!